We are live and direct from MACO. I told you guys we got the heavy hitters coming. We got celebrities in the house. Let me tell you, we had to go some screen checks to get the interview on here because she's hard to catch up with. But before we go to the guests, you know, I gotta go to my cool co-host. What's going on, Mayor?
Thanks for having me.
Where are you from? What mayor are you? What town are you from?
The great city of Hagerstown.
Mayor Emily Keller in the house, folks.
Keller.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, so we have an amazing guest from Baltimore.
Yes.
Want to announce who we have here? Go ahead, you announce.
We have Maryland's next Comptroller, Brooke Lierman.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks for coming.
This is my third time on the NoPixAfterDark podcast. I just keep coming back because it's so great. So I'm thrilled to be here in Ocean City recording with you all.
I appreciate it. We appreciate it. When she said, let's get Brooke on, I'm like, she's a fan favorite. Do you know when we had Brooke on the show, it's always one of the top listens?
No.
Did you know that? Yes.
That's awesome.
Always in the top 5 listens all the time.
Because people are like, what on earth is a comptroller and why is he talking to her?
Right. I keep on hitting her like, we got to learn about the controller. Like, I never thought about the comptroller job until I started following what you were doing. Mm-hmm. And then I got more invested. And then I kept on listening and invested. So we really appreciate you educating the audience. And our audience loves you. You just automatically, they're like, we want to learn more. So really appreciate you.
My pleasure. Great to be here.
I know when you spoke in Hagerstown, so many people afterwards were like, that was the most informative speech I think I've ever heard in my life. I mean,
Well,
you
thank you. We're working to make Comptroller cool.
Yes. How are things?
It's great. It's been really exciting since I was last on the show. Really thrilled to have won the Democratic primary with over 65% of the vote. Really grateful to Maryland voters for getting out, for selecting me as the Democratic nominee, and excited to keep running this 24-county campaign to really go to where people are and talk to them about how important it is that the Comptroller's office be present and proactive in communities, really building an economy that works for everybody. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I have to say, after the election, when Mayor Adams, sent out his congratulations to you and said, all hands on deck. And then we saw it at the rally in Silver Spring when Peter Franchow and Tom Perez went on stage and said, we're endorsing Wes, all hands on deck.
Yep.
Seeing all those candidates that didn't win would say, okay, now it's time.
Yep.
Okay, we didn't win. We got to be all in. And I admire that about our party, that we've all just kind of said, all right, let's go in.
At the end of the day, we have a shared set of values about, equitable economic growth, about making sure that, as Wes Moore likes to say, we leave no one behind, and as I like to say, I really believe that we all do better when we all do better, and I think that's a shared democratic value, and so we need to make sure that in November, people understand that this is a huge opportunity and we have to seize it, right? We have to elect Democratic leaders who are ready to create an economy that works and can seize all that federal money that's going to be available to Maryland to make sure we spend it in a way that truly creates better outcomes in the years to come.
Yes, absolutely.
So this is my first time in MACO. And I'm blown away about everything and all the guests.
It's so fascinating.
It's so fascinating. I'm coming back next year.
Yeah.
I'm already booking my trip already. But for you, you're in a new position. Last year, you did announce last year, or was it?
I had announced already. Yep.
But now we're in full swing.
Yep.
How is it a little bit different from last year to this year as you run as a controller?
Sure. So I think, one of the great things about MACO, as well as the MML conference, is the ability to talk to our local leaders about what's working and what's not, and how the Comptroller's office can be their partner and their advocate to serve the people of Maryland better. Emily, the mayor has heard me say this before. I really believe our local leaders are like the tip of the spear, right, in Maryland, working with our small businesses, with community groups, with church groups, with our older adults to make sure their needs are met. And I'm excited about the Comptroller's office and how it can partner with our local governments, whether it's on helping them to do better revenue forecasting or understanding data analytics of where people are working and where they're coming from and where they're going, and whatever it is, just making sure, and that's what people want to talk about. How can we make government work better from a local, at the Comptroller's office? What's my vision, what's their vision, and how can we align to work together moving forward?
I love that.
All right, we're gonna do it. I know you're on a time constraint.
No, all good.
Because I heard you got a lot of things going on. I heard you got, and we don't want
Just
to
a
hold
few,
you.
right?
It turns out it's a big state.
It's a big state. It's a big state.
No, all good, all good.
I mean, what do you want people to know about you? Like, as far as like people are watching, I mean, you're a fan favorite on the show. So people are, but what like things that we've covered a lot. But this is the home stretch now. What differentiates you from your opponent right now? What is the thing that I can say, hey, this guy's from Harford County. They're doing well up there. What makes difference to you?
You know, I have a record of bringing people together around challenges and then passing legislation or creating new, or not even just passing legislation, but creating opportunities to overcome those challenges, right? Whether that was on broadband or on public school funding or on housing or on economic growth, supporting Black-owned businesses, I have a record of bringing people together to get things done. And I'm excited to bring that to the Comptroller's office, right? This is really, I'm running because I think we need to make sure that Maryland rises to meet this moment. And we need leaders who are dedicated to working across the political spectrum, across the Bay Bridge, you know, into Mountain, Maryland, and in the city, and Prince George's, and Montgomery, everywhere, to make sure that we're listening to them, that the resources of the Comptroller's office are reaching those communities, and I can do that, right? I will be ready to go on day one to modernize the office, to make it work better for Marylanders, and to meet people's needs, and make sure that we seize this moment in Maryland history so that when our kids look back, they can say, wow, the 2022 election, that was where we turned the corner in Maryland. And I'm excited to help do that.
I love that.
And she's also shattering a glass ceiling, too.
Be the first woman.
We want to elect the first woman controller of the state of Maryland, folks. We want to make this happen. This year, there's only one choice, and I'm going to keep it real, everybody here. I never lean any other way, but I'm telling you, this is an important election year.
It is.
And then be straightforward, and you know, we've brought guests on that really believe in the state of Maryland.
Yep.
And we really believe in what you're doing out here.
Thank you. I'm really excited. Great opportunity, great potential to really go big and be bold and do better in Maryland.
We're going to do a fun thing because I don't want to do a speed round.
Oh,
but we got a twist on it now.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, there's
okay.
a twist. There's a twist. All right. Favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
This year's.
Okay.
Easily.
Oh,
yes. I mean, are you kidding?
Oh, all right.
This was the best I loved the Bruce Springsteen one too, but this year's was like, after listening to Encanto for a straight month in January, getting to then listen to like all the songs that I grew up, my middle school, high school years, like it was amazing. And all of them together, and the set was so incredible. And I loved this year's show. It was great. Yeah.
So this is the important one.
Yes.
Ties into that. Backstreet Boys are in sync.
Oh, Backstreet Boys.
Yes, that was the correct answer.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Justin, that's funny. Gosh, let's talk about trip down memory lane.
Yes.
Your favorite concert you've ever been to?
My favorite concert I've never been to?
You've ever been to?
That I've ever been to.
Like, if you could go back again, who would you want to go see in concert?
Gosh, that's a good question. I went to law school in Austin, Texas, so I've been to a lot of shows. But I went to see Springsteen in the Somerville Theater right outside Boston, Massachusetts in the early 2000s. And it's like a very small venue. Small venue. And it was an acoustic show, and he was amazing. And then actually years later, when I was in law school in Austin, I saw Brandi Carlile with about 20 people. And was right when she was first starting and first touring, and that was an incredible show. Mm-hmm. It's just like those small, really incredibly talented performers in very small venues, and then it's just a sort of special experience. So those were two shows that I remember very distinctly.
Yeah, I've seen Bruce twice.
Oh yeah.
I saw him at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. Random night, I was living in Jersey, and we went to Asbury Park, and he was just there, just playing. Like,
nice.
We're like, wow. It was like, so this is like, you're like, before like how internet is now.
Yeah.
And then I saw him at Madison Square Garden, and I was like,
fun. Lots of energy there. Yeah.
Oh, the energy. Anything in Madison Square Garden is amazing.
Right, totally.
So that was definitely a cool concert. That's good though. I like hearing that.
That's good. Yeah, that's fun.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Think we're good?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you
This
so
was
much.
great, guys. Thanks so much for all that you do to bring
Thank
the news
you.
to people and really interesting stories and personalities. Look forward to joining in the future again. And everybody get out and vote.
Yes. Thanks so much for coming on. It means a lot.
My
Thank you so
pleasure.
much for coming again, and let's go out and vote, folks. Folks, we'll be
Yes.
right back after these messages. Boom.